Delaware's Family Shade is a collaborative alliance of family partners and organizations committed to improving the quality of life for children and youth with special health care needs by connecting families and providers to information, resources, and services. Karen Zalewski and Annalisa Ekbladh are here now to tell us all about it. Hello, Family Shade.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys could be here.
Yeah.
So when I first saw it, I was like, Family Shade. Does that mean we're standing under a big tree?
Sort of sheltering. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really not a great organization and one that is really needed, especially for people who aren't sure how to reach out to receive certain services.
Right.
So, feel free to start telling us all about the great things you guys do over there.
Okay.
Great. So Family Shade, like you said, is a service to the community. We provide information, resources, and support to families of children with disabilities, which could mean autism, cerebral palsy, or Down syndrome, as well as families of children with chronic medical conditions like cancer, diabetes, or cystic fibrosis. We connect them to the services in the community that can support them. There are hundreds of wonderful organizations here in Delaware that support children with special health care needs in a variety of different ways. And our job is really to connect families to all of those many resources that exist here in Delaware. We're funded by the Delaware Division of Public Health, and we're staffed by the University of Delaware Center for Disability Studies. And all of the Family Shade staff are also parents of children with special health care needs. Wow. So we've walked in their shoes, and we know, how difficult it can be to navigate all of those different, all of those different things that you might need as a parent of a child with a special health care needs. So, in addition to the things that we provide for families, we also help to connect organizations that serve children with special health care needs to each other so that they can learn more about each other.
That is great.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's nice to hear how you work to connect people. And I guess one of my biggest concerns is always, I like to think that I am able to research and find things, and I know that there are some people that really don't know where to even begin to look.
Yeah. So that's why primarily we're trying to work through our website, since of course that's how everybody gets their information these days.
How I found you.
Yeah. And so there's really three primary places or ways of getting information on the website. And the website address is just familyshade.org. And the first is through our database. So as opposed to, like you say, searching Google and trying to find
a billion things.
Yeah, this is a database specifically developed for Delaware organizations serving this community. And you can search on, by a keyword, you can search a certain organization name and get information that way. The second way is through something new that we've launched called the Roadmap to Services. So this is a simple graphic that looks like a little town and has different buildings that would be the areas of the community that someone might be looking for services. Because people don't necessarily realize that when a child has a disability or a chronic health condition, it starts out as a medical situation, but it affects really every part of their life.
Right.
And so this graphic, particularly for a family who's perhaps newly diagnosed and doesn't even know what they want to search for, they don't even know what they don't know.
Right, because it's like a needle in a haystack. Okay, where do I start?
Right, so that's exactly what the Roadmap for Services was created. So there's little buildings, and you can click on the school if you need information about how your child is getting services in the school, or if you have information about insurance, or you have a question about what are my legal rights? What is my child entitled to as a person with a disability? So we just tried to make it not as comprehensive as the database, but just an easy way for someone just starting out to get some starting information of places to go.
And I think it's another thing is that, everybody that is working at Family Shade has already been there dealing with your own situation, and so you all know how not only does it affect the child, the entire family. So it's a great support system there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, people can join Family Shade as family members if they would like to. They're welcome to come to events that we have. We even have a couple family members who have joined our board of directors. And so as little or as much as people would like to be involved, and of course there's many people who just go to the website and, and that's get the information. And the other thing that people sort of engage with a lot on the website is we have an events and activities page. And at any given time, there are over 100 events going on around the state that are geared towards this community. And I don't think people realize that so many things are going on, to get support. So it's support group, it's recreational activities, it's, I know you had PIC on recently, Parent Information Center.
Yes.
We list their classes that they provide that educate parents about how to get the services that they need in the schools. And so all those events are on, as many as we can find out about, we try and put them all into one place. So the idea is, like you said, as opposed to trying to find the needle in the haystack, it's a one-stop place that can then orient them to where they need to go.
When people are calling you guys, what are they calling, what kind of problems are they having when they're calling you guys?
Right, because like Karen said, families are dealing with issues that are all across the map. We get a wide variety of types of calls at Family Shade, but for example, we just got a call from a family whose child had autism, and they were looking for an aftercare program.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that could really work with their child with autism.
Right.
We've recently gotten calls about from a mom whose child had type 1 diabetes who was struggling with changes to the Medicare insurance and was worried about having to change doctors and things like that. So what we do is connect them, like we said, to this community that's already out there with the expertise to help them. So in both cases, we connected families to the experts in those areas that could help them solve those issues. And that's really what we want families to know, is that there's no problem too big or too small to call us, and that's why we're here. We're here to help, and to help them connect to the people that can really help them solve those issues. And as time goes on, the things that a family might encounter will change.
Right.
It may be a school issue at one point, it may be an insurance issue at another point, but we are always here to help and get them connected to the right place.
And Annalisa, you just said connect the autism, because there's such a wide spectrum of autism. And I'm going to tell you something. I applaud the families that are going through this. You know what I mean? But that would be one thing. I'm like, where do you find aftercare for my child who is autistic?
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't even know where to look, because, a mainstream center might want to deal with it to an extent, but they're like, well, it's kind of not really us. And then your child's not getting any help that they really need.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be stimulating for them. So that is great.
Yeah, so we can help families, sort of work through those issues and find situations and places that can really support them.
And I did just want to mention, we sort of went to calling us. So most people use the website and I think are able to find what they're looking for. But if they can't find it on the website, or they just prefer to talk to someone, then that's when they can call us, and it's a toll-free number. And as Annalisa mentioned, staffed by parents who, when situation is exactly alike, but have been there to some degree.
You can understand. So, you understand your situation might not be a mirror of mine, but you are there and you know what I'm going through, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So let me see. What do you provide organizations and groups that serve children with disabilities and chronic diseases? So so
that's sort of the other part of Family Shade, is acting as an umbrella organization that can bring those organizations and groups that serve kids together to learn more about each other. So even though Delaware is a small state, just like parents don't necessarily know all the resources, even those who are in the business, so to speak, don't know all the resources. And so we have networking breakfasts, which are very popular, where everyone just comes. They've got 3 or 4 minutes to tell a little bit about their organization or events that they have coming up. And you can see people scribbling notes because, I didn't know that there was a therapeutic horseback riding place that's so close, because someone may be coming and talking to you in a support group, but there are all these other services that aren't the ones that you provide are going to become apparent that they need some access to. So our next networking breakfast is April 1st, and even some parents come to that. So we'd love to have anyone who's interested in joining us.
And we want to remind everybody, please, just get on the website, take a look around, navigate through, you know what I mean? And educate yourself on the services, you know what I mean? And listen, I'd call you guys. You guys sound really comfortable,
Please
you know
do.
what I mean?
If you ever have the need, please do.
Yeah. Now, let me see, was there a workshop too coming up, or you got a workshop, or just?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
we're co-sponsoring a workshop with Easter Seals to help families learn more about guardianship and medical power of attorney, as well as some special needs financial planning. So that information is on our website. You can go under our events and activities and find out more about that. That will be March 4th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you guys could come on.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
A tree, shading the whole family, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you know what? Come back again, and maybe if you'd like to bring a parent that utilizes the
would be great.
services, that would be great.
Wonderful.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Yes.
All right.